Something strange is moving through our solar system. It's not an asteroid. It's not a comet. And it definitely doesn't belong here. For months, telescopes across the world have been tracking it. A massive, glowing object hurtling past the sun at impossible speed. Scientists call it 3I Atlas. But behind that technical name hides something far more mysterious. Because this isn't just another piece of space debris. This is a visitor from another star system, one that might be older than the Earth itself. And what we've learned about it, its path, its speed, and its alien chemistry, has left even NASA speechless. So, what exactly is 3I Atlas? Where did it come from? And what if this isn't the last time something like it comes our way? Let's start from the beginning, with the moment scientists realized that this object shouldn't exist. Started quietly, no headlines, no viral tweets. Just another night of scanning the skies. In July 2025, one of the Atlas telescopes, part of a global network in Hawaii, Chile, and South Africa, detected a faint object moving near the edge of our solar system. At first, astronomers assumed it was just another small asteroid, another dot of light in an infinite sky. But within days, something about that dot began to feel wrong. Every few hours, it shifted position too much. It was moving faster than anything they had seen in that region of space. Faster than asteroids, faster than comets, faster than it should be possible to move and still belong to the sun. At first, they thought it was an error, maybe a software glitch or a calibration issue. But when observatories from Chile to Italy confirmed the same readings, the truth became undeniable. This object wasn't bound to our solar system at all. It was passing through it, and that changed everything. By August, data began pouring in. Every telescope wanted a look. As the orbit was plotted more precisely, the numbers didn't lie. Its velocity, over 58 kilometers per second. To put that into perspective, Earth orbits the Sun at about 30 kilometers per second. Mercury, the fastest planet, at about 48. But this object, even when it was far from the Sun's gravitational pull, was accelerating. That made no sense. Comets and asteroids don't do that. They follow the rules of gravity, slingshotting predictably. But this one, named 3I Atlas, refused to play by the rules. It was on what astronomers call a hyperbolic trajectory. That means it wasn't looping around the sun. It was just passing by. A visitor from deep space, slicing through our solar system once, and never coming back. But there was something even more puzzling. Its entry angle. Most objects enter the solar system at random inclinations. Some come from above, some from below, like random arrows hitting a target from every direction. But 3I Atlas entered at almost a perfect 0-degree angle. Only 3 degrees off the plane where all our planets orbit. That's like threading a cosmic needle. An object from another star system just happened to arrive perfectly aligned with our solar system's orbital plane. That's not supposed to happen. Some astronomers called it a 1 in a billion coincidence. Others began to whisper something else, that maybe this object wasn't random at all. But before theories spiraled too far, researchers went back to the data, trying to find clues in its light, its motion, its structure. And the deeper they looked, the stranger it became. 3I Atlas wasn't just moving fast, it was massive. Early brightness estimates suggested it could be 5 to 6 kilometers wide, making it far larger than the famous interstellar visitor Oumuamua, and possibly even more complex than Borisov II. This was no pebble drifting through the void. This was a mountain of alien ice and rock, a relic from another sun. For the first time in years, the world of astronomy held its breath. Another interstellar object, and this time we had months to study it. But as observatories began turning their lenses toward it, one thing became clear: 3I Atlas wasn't just visiting. It was here to challenge everything we thought we knew about how our universe works. And to understand what made it so different, you have to look back at the ones that came before. The mysterious travelers that first showed us we're not as alone in the cosmos as we once thought. 3I Atlas isn't the first traveler from beyond our solar system. Before it, there were two others, each one rewriting astronomy in its own way. The first was Oumuamua, spotted in 2017. A thin, elongated object tumbling end over end through the void. It was the first confirmed interstellar visitor, and it behaved so strangely that some scientists half-jokingly called it alien technology. It didn't shine like a comet. It didn't leave a trail. And most mysterious of all, it accelerated, as if something was pushing it, without any visible gas or jets. For years, nobody could explain it. Oumuamua was a riddle that came and went in just a few weeks, leaving behind more questions than answers. Then, 2 years later, came Borisov. Unlike Oumuamua, Borisov did look like a comet. Bright, icy, glowing, a perfect example of what an interstellar object should be. It moved predictably, left a clear trail, and followed physics beautifully. Borisov was comforting, familiar. Oumuamua was confusing, alien. And then came 3I Atlas, a visitor that somehow combined both. From the start, 3I Atlas defied easy classification. Its speed was even higher than either of its predecessors, blazing through the solar system at nearly 58 kilometers per second. But speed alone wasn't the strangest part. What shocked astronomers most was its angle of approach. Out of all the possible directions it could have come from, billions of degrees of freedom in the night sky, it arrived on a path almost perfectly aligned with the solar plane. That's the same flat disk where Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and the other planets orbit. In cosmic terms, that alignment is absurdly precise. Imagine standing in the middle of a football field, throwing a dart toward the stands on the far side, and hitting a coin that's spinning in someone's hand. That's how unlikely this trajectory was. So, naturally, scientists started asking, how? Was this a cosmic coincidence? Or something more intentional? Could it have been shaped by gravitational forces we don't yet understand? Or was it simply luck? A once-in-a-lifetime alignment of the stars? Whatever the answer, one thing was clear. This wasn't just another interstellar rock. Oumuamua was mysterious. Borisov was predictable. But 3I Atlas was something else entirely. Bigger, faster, and far more precise than anything that's ever entered our system. And to understand just how extraordinary that is, we have to go back even further, beyond our solar system, beyond our sun, to a part of the galaxy so ancient that Earth didn't even exist when this thing was born. Once astronomers plotted 3I Atlas's path, they realized it didn't lead anywhere near our sun's neighborhood. Pointed far beyond, out toward the dense glow at the center of the Milky Way. That single clue changed everything. If the calculations were right, this object didn't come from the thin, lively spiral arms where most new stars form. It came from the thick disk, an ancient layer of the galaxy packed with the fossils of the first generations of stars. That region is quiet now, almost dormant. The suns there are old, the planets, if any survived, long frozen or burned away. For an object to travel from that realm to ours would take billions of years. So scientists ran the numbers again. And the result was almost unbelievable. 3I Atlas could be 7 to 8 billion years old, twice the age of the Earth itself. Think about that. When this thing first formed, Earth wasn't even dust yet. Our sun didn't exist. The Milky Way looked completely different. For most of its lifetime, 3I Atlas drifted through darkness, an eternal traveler between dying stars. Maybe it was thrown out of its home system by a collision. Maybe a supernova's shockwave hurled it into the void. Whatever the cause, It had been wandering for eons, until a small blue-white star on the galaxy's edge caught its path. After billions of years of silence, 3I Atlas was finally pulled toward our sun. A brief, accidental meeting between two strangers in the dark. And that's when the story truly began to twist. Because as it approached, this ancient traveler started to behave like nothing we'd ever seen before. When 3I Atlas first entered our solar system, astronomers expected it to behave like any other comet. Heat up, form a tail, and slowly fade away as it escaped the sun's pull. Simple, predictable, textbook physics. But 3I Atlas didn't care about textbooks. At first, it did start glowing, a faint halo of gas forming around it as sunlight hit its icy surface. But instead of becoming brighter the closer it got to the sun, suddenly dimmed. That shouldn't happen. Every comet in history gets more intense the nearer it approaches the sun, like turning a lamp's dial up. 3I Atlas did the opposite, it turned off. Some thought maybe it had exploded, maybe its core broke apart, scattering fragments into space. But telescopes kept tracking it. The object was still there, perfectly intact, and still moving exactly on course. Then came the next twist. Its tail, the bright streak that normally follows behind a comet, wasn't following at all. It was pointing sideways. That detail sent scientists into chaos. No known solar wind, no radiation pressure, nothing we could measure should have made that possible. Something unseen was pushing it, or maybe it was pushing itself. The European Southern Observatory called it a highly anomalous case. Others went further, whispering about magnetic propulsion, unknown chemistry, or even the possibility of internal energy sources. Was this some new kind of interstellar ice we'd never seen before? Or was it something designed, a piece of technology lost between the stars? NASA stayed quiet, but independent researchers noticed subtle pulses in its brightness. Not random flickers, but rhythmic ones. Repeating, predictable, almost like a signal. Almost like a signal. Of course, that idea was quickly dismissed. Optical illusion, instrument error, the usual explanations when science doesn't have one. But behind the scenes, teams were already preparing a deeper study, because whatever 3I Atlas was doing, it wasn't acting like a rock, and it wasn't acting like ice either. It was something new, and the strangest part, it seemed to change behavior as it left the sun, as if it had learned from the encounter. After months of silence, NASA finally released the official data on 3I Atlas. But the numbers didn't add up. On paper, it looked simple, a long, icy object, about 300 meters wide, moving through the solar system at 32 kilometers per second. But there was a problem. At that speed, and given its mass, 3I Atlas should have slowed slightly as it passed near the sun. Gravity always wins, even against comets. Yet when astronomers checked the exit data, the object wasn't slowing down. It was accelerating. Not much, just a fraction of a meter per second. But in astrophysics, that's the difference between natural and impossible. NASA called it non-gravitational acceleration, the same mysterious phrase used for another interstellar visitor, Oumuamua. And if that sounds familiar, it's because that same anomaly, that same unexplained boost, sparked years of debate over whether we just witnessed alien technology. So what was NASA's explanation this time? They blamed it on gas jets, invisible streams of vapor shooting off the object's surface like thrusters. But independent telescopes didn't detect any. No vapor, no tail, no plume, nothing. And that's when some researchers started to wonder, was NASA hiding something? Because behind the public reports, some internal documents started leaking. Small references to electromagnetic signatures, plasma fluctuations, and a patterned light variance. that didn't fit natural causes. One astrophysicist who worked on the observation team even tweeted, then deleted, a single line, "If this data is correct, it changes everything we know about interstellar travel." Within hours, his account vanished. Coincidence? Maybe. But for many who followed the story, it felt like the same old dance. NASA gives a clean public version, and the real findings disappear into classified files. Still, the data that did make it out paints a picture too strange to ignore. 3I Atlas wasn't just reacting to sunlight. It might have been responding to it, as if the energy it absorbed meant something. And if that's true, if this object can harness and manipulate light from a star, then it's not just an ancient traveler. It's something far more advanced than anything humanity has ever built. By now, the scientific community was split in two. One side insisted 3I Atlas was just a cosmic fluke, a natural object behaving oddly because of physics we don't fully understand yet. The other side believed something far more extraordinary, that 3I Atlas might not be a rock at all, but a machine, a relic left behind by a civilization so old it may have seen the Milky Way when it was still young. At first, the idea sounded insane. An alien probe? Traveling billions of years? Still functioning? Impossible. But as the data poured in, the coincidences started to pile up. Its trajectory was too precise. The spin rate perfectly balanced, as if engineered. Its reflectivity unnaturally uniform, more like polished alloy than space dust. Then there was the rhythm in its brightness. A slow, repeating pulse every 16 hours. Not random, not natural, almost like a heartbeat echoing through space. To some, it was nothing more than rotation. To others, it looked eerily like a transmission pattern, the kind you'd see if light was being intentionally modulated. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, who previously argued Oumuamua could be alien technology, weighed in again. If it quacks like a duck and flies like a duck, maybe it isn't just a rock. He suggested something radical, that 3I Atlas might be an ancient solar sail, a thin, lightweight structure powered not by fuel, but by the very light of stars. That would explain its acceleration, its silence, its strange tail behavior. And if that's true, it means someone or something built it, almost like a signal. Of course, that idea was quickly dismissed. Optical illusion, instrument error, the usual explanations when science doesn't have one. But behind the scenes, teams were already preparing a deeper study, because whatever 3I Atlas was doing, it wasn't acting like a rock, and it wasn't acting like ice either. It was something new, and the strangest part? It seemed to change behavior as it left the sun, as if it had learned from the encounter. Not recently, but possibly billions of years ago. Imagine a probe launched by a civilization that's long gone. A final message drifting through time, outlasting its creators, waiting to be found. Could have crossed galaxies, passing through systems that lived, evolved, and died, until fate finally pulled it into ours. And now, for the first time in recorded history, humanity was staring right at it. But if 3I Atlas really was an ancient probe, the question isn't just who built it, it's why it came here. If 3I Atlas was a probe, then it wasn't just wandering, it was traveling with purpose. For decades, scientists have dreamed about what humanity's first contact would look like. A signal, a transmission, maybe even a spacecraft. But what if it's quieter than that? What if the message doesn't come through words, but through presence? When 3I Atlas passed closest to the sun, telescopes noticed something that no one could quite explain. A faint fluctuation in its reflected light, a pattern that repeated exactly 3 times, and then stopped forever. It wasn't random. It wasn't natural interference. It looked deliberate, like a signature. Some believe it was a coincidence, the sunlight hitting its surface at just the right angle. Others think it was a reply, a coded acknowledgement that we'd finally noticed it. And here's the part that gives scientists chills. The pattern resembled a mathematical ratio found in DNA, the same sequence that defines life as we know it. Coincidence? Maybe, but maybe not. If 3I Atlas has been drifting for billions of years, it could have witnessed countless civilizations rise and fall, each one a flicker in cosmic time. So what if it isn't looking for life, but simply recording it, documenting every world it passes, every species intelligent enough to see it and ask questions? It wouldn't need to communicate in our language. Its existence is the message that we're not the first, and we won't be the last. Maybe it's not a warning. Maybe it's a reminder that intelligence, no matter where it comes from, always looks to the stars, hoping to find someone looking back. And for one brief moment, as 3I Atlas passed by our sun, we did. Then, just like that, it was gone. For a few short months, 3I Atlas was the most watched object in the sky. Every major observatory, every telescope, every radar on Earth tracked it relentlessly. And then, it was gone. No explosion, no dramatic fade-out, just silence. One morning, when astronomers pointed their instruments at its coordinates, there was nothing. The object had simply vanished into the deep, slipping past Neptune's orbit and out toward the stars. But even now, years later, something doesn't sit right. Because by NASA's own trajectory data, 3I Atlas should still be faintly visible. A dot, a ghost on the edge of space. Yet every scan since has come back blank. It's as if it turned off, or changed direction. That idea sounds impossible, but then again, so does everything else about it. Some believe it was destroyed by solar radiation. Others think it entered a dormant phase, conserving energy until it finds its next star. And then there's the most unsettling theory of all, that 3I Atlas wasn't done observing. Maybe it didn't disappear. Maybe it's simply watching from somewhere else. If this really was an ancient probe, it's possible its mission spans billions of years, mapping every intelligent species it encounters, each one another chapter in the story of the galaxy. And now, for the first time, we are part of that story. 3I Atlas came and went without saying a word. No transmission, no contact, no warning, just silence, and the realization that our solar system is not as empty as we once believed. Because out there, beyond the reach of any telescope, something is still moving through the dark, ancient, patient, and far more advanced than anything we can imagine. And the next time it returns, we might not be the ones observing it. In the end, maybe 3I Atlas isn't about what it is. Maybe it's about what it means. Because every few generations, humanity gets a glimpse of something that shakes our understanding of reality. Something that reminds us how small we really are, and how much we still don't know. 3I Atlas might just be a rock, a cosmic wanderer thrown from its home billions of years ago. Or maybe, just maybe, it's proof that we're not the first ones to look up at the stars and wonder. Either way, it left us with something more powerful than fear. Curiosity, the need to know what's out there, the urge to listen a little closer, to look a little longer, and to remember that space isn't silent. We're just not hearing it yet. So if this was a message, it wasn't written in language or light. It was written in mystery, a cosmic question drifting through the dark, waiting for someone, maybe us, to answer it. And that's the beauty of it all. Because as long as we're asking those questions, as long as we keep searching, we're not alone. The universe always has a way of answering back, just not in the way we expect.